Hey folks, how's it going, Rasher? And welcome back to the episode of Cards and Castles, where technically not exactly cards and castles, but more so cards and castles too. That's right, we've got more news regarding the sequel game and some kind of long anticipated news about when it's finally going to release back out into the world. If you're not caught up on the Cards and Castles 2 scenario, I'll brief it down for you. A while ago, the game did go into a public early access, but the team was not happy with how the game released, and exactly all of the stuff in Cards and Castles 2 was not to the team's liking. So they closed it back off and went back into testing with it to kind of rework the game into something more enjoyable. And today we've got some more updates on what that product looks like and what we can expect to see from the game in actually less than about a month or so away. There is some news as to you know, where the game is going, when the game releases back to the public, and some additional tidbits that might be worth your while to kind of you know, get caught up on. So with that being said, I am going to leave a stream recap, or at least the full VOD of the stream, as an unlisted video on this channel down below in the description. So if you guys want to watch the full stream and what took place in terms of gameplay, this is going to be more of a just chatting type video. I'm going to be sitting here, maybe we could throw some matches in the background of Cards and Castles, but I realize that, you know, if we throw the whole, you know, massive VOD on the channel as a big sort of 2-hour video, then you know, some people don't like to see the full 2 hours. So for those who want to see it, I'll leave it down in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description below. And we'll stick to the main points here, kind of just recapping what's important from the stream, what exactly things look like now, so on and so forth, as well as some bullet points as to some key details that you guys need to know about, just in case, you know, you were looking to come back into the game after a while, because it has been a while. It's been a while, and I know some of you who are probably maybe watching this video haven't really touched the game maybe in a while. Maybe. I don't know. But regardless, let's go ahead and get into our discussion here and break down what you need to know about the upcoming release. Alright, and before we get on into sort of the major news and tidbits, I kind of wanted to go over some parts of the VOD that I found were more important, so that way, if you are not looking to watch the full 2 hours of stream recap, I get it, I understand. But I did want to go over some important pieces that you guys are probably going to want to take away from this as sort of preparation for Cards and Castles 2. The first being the major changes to the board yet again, and just how the game plays in general. Now the boards are back to being 5 rows with this time I believe 8 columns, if I can do math correctly, which I'm sure there are 8 columns. And you can see those first 4 columns are completely free for you to pretty much spawn any creature. Note that any creature will have summoning sickness upon entering, meaning it can't move or act. And that does a great job to make sure that games don't turn into straight castle rushes, and you know, that doesn't seem very fun. In addition to that, the supply depots, which are now the new kind of like hovels that you see above and below the castle, act as secondary win conditions, not win condition per se, but they're secondary objectives. Much like how the towers back in the original Cards and Castles 1 were sort of these optional things you can take over to give yourself more of an advantage in games. This is something similar. With the supply depots, you knock it, you get a copy of a card from your opponent's deck, as well as an additional treasure, which can be pretty valuable if you can use those correctly. And also, depending on the matchup you have, you might pull a very, very crucial card. But essentially, Vaunt does a much better job of explaining how these changes impact the game and what they essentially were looking for. I can sum it up by essentially telling you that because of this new board state, you're going to see a lot more interesting card designs and wackier decks exist because you have a bit more leniency with the summoning sickness and the spawn of the board. That's the root of it. Again, he does a much better job at putting forth a better explanation as to why that's the case, because of course he's the experienced game developer, game designer, so he's got a lot of that that knowledge in his brain. But I do kind of want to just point out that, you know, you're going to see, again, a bit more of a significant change up to the board here, as well as how you play the game with the spawns and objectives and things like that. The very crucial parts of Cards and Castles have yet again been changed, but in my opinion, they've been kind of brought down more so to the original game, much less than what the original CNC2 looked like. And as you can see there by the pterodactyl as well, we do now have we still have the single-digit stat lines from Cards and Castles 1, and I think we might have gone over that before. But in case that you are, again, have been out of the loop, the single-digit stat lines are returning for Cards and Castles 2. We're not looking at those big percentage numbers like the original early access had. No, this one you're just going to be back to those same numbers where you can see 0-4, 25 castle HP, a 2-1 pterodactyl for 3 gold, much like how the first game is. So with that, again, a very simple breakdown of sort of the gameplay and how that itself has changed. Let's go ahead and move on, though, and talk about more of the outside gameplay features. And what do I mean by outside gameplay features? I essentially mean how lobbies look. Lobby systems are going to be a returning factor in Cards and Castles 2. Again, it's kind of the main connecting point that the game has been built off of. Creating lobbies so that way you can hold some friendly encounters. There is quick match for ranked outside of lobbies, but the idea is that lobbies are going to play a big role in you know, enjoying this game with people. I think that's the great thing about Cards and Castles. No matter what era we go into, it always seems like there are people playing it. And to give a chance for those of you to connect, because we all play Cards and Castles, the very scarce amount of us. I think the lobbies were a great way to kind of connect people together, and bring people together. Some that, you know, we might never have before, and who, you know, because I know there are people out there who maybe, you know, are just playing the game, who are maybe watching my videos only as their source of Cards and Castles news. Maybe you're in tune with the community on Discord. There are a lot of avenues that this game has for, you know, outside community, but the lobby system does a great job at bringing everyone who has that common interest of Cards and Castles together inside of the application to communicate, hang out, and foster some good memories. And as you can see here, I mean, we can still spectate games as well. I think the spectate is going to be what takes over Cards TV permanently. I don't think there is a Cards TV feature. If you do want to spectate matches, you're going to have to go into lobbies and just outright spectate the live games happening. I believe that there are going to be replay features, though, so you'll be able to save some games maybe if you want to save them for later, or notice something but you can't save for the full match. There are going to be those in place, so kind of like a pseudo Cards TV, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure. But on top of the lobby system, you see that there are additional menu features, your pack systems, your card systems, your shop, which, by the way, I think we've established this in the last stream as well, but the pack system is returning as sort of the primary way to get a hold of cards. I'll explain more about that when we get into some more of the news, but just know that packs are going to be a big returning factor. Quests are making a comeback. Quests, as you can see there, 22 quests in my lobby there. I don't know if you're going to be given that much on release, but the quest system has been more expanded upon to give you guys more of an incentive to play as well. So that's always a good sign. And then the pass, again, I'll hold off on that. We didn't explain much of that in the stream, but just know that it's there. So we'll get there when we get there. But overall, the lobby system does look great. Very reminiscent of the original style of Cards and Castles too. You can kind of compare some of the original videos they have on their old YouTube page with this to kind of see that the style and the essence is still kind of there. I think they were trying to do their best to emulate that with a more of a modern style. I think they did a good job. I think they did a fair job of it. It's better than what I've been used to with Cards and Castles 2 lobbies being the playtest that I have been for a while now. But yes, I think that is a fantastic change. And with that, let's go ahead and talk about one more feature before we get into the overall news. And just as a final sort of touch up here, like I mentioned, ranked is returning. You might have caught that when I mentioned the quick match and how it relates to your rank. But Cards and Castles 2 did not feature any type of known rank system. That is no longer the case. Now we have our new system, which he explained in game is a series of, I believe, 8 different leagues made up of 4 tiers. So i.e. Wood 4 is sort of the bottom baseline. Then you move into bronze, silver, gold, and I believe I don't forget the highest. The highest rank is champion, which is only there's one tier of. That's going to be like reminiscent of your 3K in Cards and Castles. But everything else is sort of a 4-star, 4-tier layering that you have to play through, and of course you earn these through your quick match and your ranked games. The lobby matches that we had don't necessarily count for ranked if you guys are gonna play those in the servers when they come out. The only reason that they're showing up here for us is because that they were testing. It was a different environment, and he even goes over that in the stream as well, saying how you won't be seeing this if you're doing just friendly lobby competitions and whatnot. These are reserved for if you play competitive and you earn your rank through that means. Not a whole lot more to go on with that. I just thought it would be cool to mention because a lot of people did mention in the Cards and Castles 2 early access, the first one, that there really was no incentive to play because you didn't have a rank system. You didn't have anything to really fight over. You know, all you did was basically grow your collection and play story and you know, what else do you do? You play each other, yeah. Friendly multiplayer, solo, and that was it. There was no ranked at the time. So it's good to let people know that ranked is returning and you have something to fight over. And on top of that, I did mention solo. I'll mention it here because, again, it's brief, but the campaign is also returning. There will be more of a story fleshed out. It won't be all immediate in one go, but you will have to, you're not have to. There is a solo mode that you can enjoy as well if you're not entirely tuned into the PvP, or if you're new and want more of an easier challenge to kind of help you ease into the game itself. So you've got both sides here covered. You got the PvP stuff and you've got the solo stuff for hopefully more world building. We haven't really seen much world building in Cards and Castles, but I hope that does change. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the more major news bits coming out of the stream. Alright, and so now that we've covered all of the other stream highlights that I think are more important, let's go ahead and talk about some of the major news coming out of this past stream. What you need to know about as sort of the quick update, if you're not looking to sit through the entirety of the 2 hours looking at the incoming gameplay changes. Well, I will be happy to inform you that May 20th is the release date of early access for this build of the game. You'll be able to play for free on May 20th on Steam only. Mobile builds are still coming for both iOS and Android, but they will not be ready, much like it was for the first iteration of CNC2 and their plans of kind of pushing a mobile date to later. It's going to be the same here. CNC2 will release on Steam first in that early access, and then will of course make its way to mobile builds sometime in the future. When, we don't know. We weren't given a time frame by them. All we know that is all we do know right now is that the official date for early access, May 20th, you'll be able to play this game for free. And the free part's important. I think people were priced out of the first go about of this game when it released. God, it has to be at least maybe a year ago now, maybe. I don't remember the time frame exactly, but people were saying that $20 was maybe a bit too much, and I understand, especially since you know, the game in itself was a bit all over the place back then. But for this one, you'll be able to play for free and on Steam May 20th, which is the very, very important date that you have to remember. And on top of that, like I said, the mobile is coming later. But if you do currently have the Cards and Castles 2 client, the old game, the old version of Cards and Castles 2 installed, meaning you paid $20 already for the previous version of this game. There's some good news for you there as well. Despite the game going free to play, those who did pay the additional $20 for the newer version, or for the old version of the game, will be heavily compensated inside this new product. What exactly will the compensation be? We weren't given that information on stream, but you will be generously compensated according to the team. That does put into question, though, what happens if you do buy the client now. What happens? I will say, do not buy the Cards and Castles 2, the one on Steam currently for $20. That is not only a bugged out game, but those who are going ahead and thinking they can get some kind of benefit off of purchasing the game now will not be receiving any sort of compensation bonus. Meaning that if you have purchased the game before the announcement was made on stream, you will be getting some type of bonus. Anyone who purchases it now up until the launch of the game will not be getting any sort of compensation. You'll just be supporting the team, which in and of itself is good, but that's not everyone's cup of tea to be spending $20 on a dead game that won't be active until May 20th, when you get it for free later too. So, you know, I'm just saying. But seriously, do not buy Cards and Castles 2 that's currently up on Steam as of recording this video. That is the one that is not going to get you anything, and you won't be compensated like the players who are currently planning to be compensated will be. The team has already gotten screenshots and all the evidence they need of the of who's getting compensation properly. So if you think about maybe cheating the system, don't. They already have names of who will be getting their bonuses. So yeah, with that being said, I think that is going to be the final bit of news here for you I have in regards to the game. Overall, some great things coming out of this stream. And again, I apologize, it maybe took a little longer to get this recap out to you, but still very important that we have all of this great news. And you know, I'm very much looking forward to what's ahead. This game has been a long time coming, for real. Not just in the previous version too. Like, I'm telling you right now, the team has put a lot of work into this version, and I know we said that about the last one, but god damn is it good. This version, hella good, hella fun, and can't wait to see you guys try everything that this game had in store. And I know I'm flashing some of the other gameplay stuff too, and I know I don't have enough time to kind of fully cover the entirety of the game here. So we'll leave you guys to, maybe if you want to see the rest of this game, go ahead and again check out that VOD linked in the description. But for now, let's go ahead and close this video properly, shall we? Alright folks, that being said, another Cards and Castles video comes to a close. Hope you guys did enjoy all of the previews and news coming out of this last stream. Hope you guys are excited for the game too. There's a lot to look forward to. I'm very much looking forward to playing this with the community May 20th, and there are some plans in the works, not just for content, but for the game itself. So hope you guys stick around and hop on board if you're new for all of the exciting things coming to our little community in the corner of the internet here. And if you did enjoy, be sure to let me know your thoughts. Leave some comments down below. You know, what are you excited for the game? What did you like about the preview? You know, is there anything that you're excited about maybe by seeing some snippets? Again, feel free to let me know in the comment section below right down there. Be sure to like and share the video to help us out here on the channel. Help us grow at no additional cost to you. But with that being said, folks, we'll be back here for more Cards and Castles content very, very soon. But until then, and until next time, stay gaming.